Sup guys, once again, this is part of the Getting Started with Proton Native series. If you haven't already watched the Getting Started video, you can find that in the description. This video will be about how to use the app component. Nothing crazy, just walking through the documentation. If you enjoy this sort of thing, please like, share, and subscribe right there. And with no further ado, let's rock and roll. So let's rock and roll. So open up your application that you got spun up in the last video. If you haven't, you can either watch the last video that's in the description, or you can go through the Getting Started guide on the Proton Native website. So let's go ahead and look at our code base. So I've already pre-populated a lot of these things just to save you some time and commented them out. So we'll start with the rectangle. Really simple, nothing crazy. XY being where you start the rectangle, coordinates wise on the screen, and then width and height being how large the rectangle is, and then the fill color. So we've got the code uncommented, and we also have a little the area component over the rectangle, which just gives it a little stroke to kind of make it stand out. So npm start this, and it is up. And boom, that's a rectangle. Very simple, nothing crazy. Let's move on. Now we're using an area group component. So that allows us to group multiple area components together. So we're gonna group a couple of rectangles. And what you'll see here is we've already done the rectangle, so I don't need to go into that. But we're going to move everything together, which could be useful in all sorts of scenarios. But the transform prop allows us to just kind of translate everything, move everything, the XY for like the whole group over 100 spaces to the left and 50 from the top, XY. And so we'll go ahead and spin this up. There we go. And boom, we have both our rectangles grouped together, moved together. Now we're just doing a basic line. It's exactly what you'd expect. Starting X point, ending X point, starting Y point, ending Y point. Spin that up for you. Start. Taking a while. There we go. There's our line. Nothing crazy. Now we're going to do a circle. Starting X point, starting Y point, and the radius. Actually, that may actually be the X and Y point of the center. That's what I'm gonna guess. Haven't actually checked. That's my suspicion. Let's see what happens. And I'm sure I can read the documentation to confirm. Boom, sounds about right. All right, and this is a Bezier. Man, I feel so uneducated. I don't really know what this is supposed to be. I guess it's some sort of curve. Here's how you set one up, and npm start. This is what it will look like. I wish I knew more about what this thing was. I'd be able to better explain it. I don't. Sorry about that. You can check out the documentation for that one. Okay, so paths allow us to define a path using the SVG syntax. So SVG syntax, scalable vector graphic, is right here. It's like what you generate in like Illustrator. And then obviously we have the same sort of transform thing where we just want to translate thing, where we want to move things over to the side. So let's go ahead and take a look, see what it generates. Boom. And the obvious reason why we translated that second one is so that they didn't overlap, right? You'll see if we left that at 0, I'm pretty sure we'd have an overlapping issue here. And voila. So that was obviously a very simple tutorial. Next we'll be going over the box, text, and button components. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so right over there, and I'll see you in the next video.